Hello and welcome to Nkarma's online festival. You're watching WorldWords. This is the second evening of the festival. Last night we had some DJing. There's 2 more nights after tonight. There's going to be more DJing and music and lots of loveliness. How are you all feeling? Thank you so much for being here. We have a very, very relaxed and lovely evening in store for us, as always. Tonight is a very safe and open place for us to share who we are, to share cultures, to share arts, to share love. And tonight this is going to be just a little community. That's what I like to imagine, just for an hour or so. So relax, put on something comfy, get a drink. Normally, every single time I have wine, but this time I've upgraded. We've got some gin tonight. Actually, it's really early. I don't know if I can say tonight. And I think as well, just thank yourself for carving out this little piece of time for you. It's really important to take time for ourselves. There's a lot of happy things going on in the world at the moment, and there's also a lot of sad things going on, and all in between. And whilst coming out of lockdown is really exciting for some of us, it's also really scary for some of us as well. And there's so many shades of colours, and I think tonight events like this are really lovely, and it's just a place for us just to unload and really be present. There's that voice in the back of our heads that's screaming at us all day. I want you just to tell it, look, we'll be with you in an hour, but this hour is just for me, and I'm going to take some self-care and some self-love. So tonight we'll just enjoy the offerings that we have for each other and enjoy each other's arts. So we have some really special guests. We have podcasters, we have meditations, we have poetry, we have music, and we have lots and lots of loveliness. We have had a little change in studio today. So right now we're in my living room, which is on a main road. So we might hear some screaming, we might hear some sirens, but that's okay. It's all Nkarma. There's an artist actually on Instagram called Marie Andrew, and I saw a post that she put up, and it was called Dealing with the Less Pleasant Parts of Living in the City. And it was really nice actually, and I'm going to read because I think it's quite relevant. So this post says, when I'm irritated by a siren, I think about times when I've been in an ambulance or needed a fire truck, and how grateful I was when they showed up quickly. I send a bit of love to the person who needs it. I also imagine Siren as the voice of a wild opera singer who's really gone rogue with her performance. And I like that. So tonight, if there's anything loud outside or any sirens, I'm just going to be sending a piece of love to the person who needs it, and maybe that's something nice for you to do as well. So as always, please comment. We'll shout you out, show love for all of our guests, and I think we should begin the show. So our first guest is going to be setting the tone for this evening. She is a theatre maker, a stage manager. She's wonderful at meditations and mindfulness. We have Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hello.
Everyone, please show love to Alice in the comments. She's very, very lovely. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be a part of
It's a
this.
pleasure. I'm really excited to have a little chat with you, but I thought it would be nice if we just got straight into it and I hand it over so you can calm all our nerves, and then we can go on and have a lovely evening. I think you're going to put us all onto the same wavelength, get us all onto the same page. So I'm going to hand over to you, Alice.
Yeah, that sounds really good. If you could just get into a comfy position for you. So that could be that you're sitting down, that could be that you're going to lie down, just something for you. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. And in this state, I just want you to recognize if you're truly comfortable right now, or if there's anything else that you can do to make yourself more comfy. So if you need to stretch out your legs, do that. Just listening to what your body needs right now and fulfilling it. Brilliant. And we're going to do some breathing exercises now, and I engage with the breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, but it's okay if you breathe differently. So I'd like to invite you to breathe in through the nose with me and out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose, nice and long. And exhale. Keeping those inhales and exhales nice and long. One more time, breathing in nice and slow. And out, nice and slow. Nice and relaxed. Brilliant. And now just breathe normally, however that is for you. I just want to take this time to say thank you for taking a moment to breathe. And you're doing so good, I can already tell. So in this lovely, calm state, we're just going to have a moment to ourselves. Visualize. And closing your eyes, I'd like you to imagine that you are somewhere calm and that your breath is going to engage in the area around you. So breathing out, it's like a wind that's around you. And breathing in is just stirring it. And it's beautiful because you're creating it in this space. Breathing however you like. And with that wind, we're just going to imagine some leaves or some petals are just riding that wind as we're inviting it into the space. And the petals are going to dance around you as you exhale and inhale. And you're in control of it completely. You're in control of this space right now. And these petals, they're going to start falling at your feet. And they're very gentle. But you soon start to discover that these petals have like a magical quality about them, that every surface that they touch, it just smooths it and relaxes it. So these petals, if they went on the arches of your foot, it would just smooth it out, relaxing the feet underneath. And the balls of the feet feel cushioned underneath this mattress of lovely petals, soft leaves in the spring. Remember to breathe. Falling at the legs now. Just encouraging the muscles there to soften. You've done enough today. This is time for you to rest. They're going to fall at your knees now. Just encouraging that joint to relax, to melt. Remember to breathe in. They're going to fall at your thighs, around you. Just encouraging that area to relax, sink into the ground. Let gravity do the work now. You don't have to do anything else. These petals are going to swirl around now, and it's almost like they're going to fall at the small of your back. They're just like two pads pressing against your back, kneading, coaxing your body to relax now. It's holding so much, it might swirl around your abdominal muscles, soothing, cooling. whatever your body needs right now. Untie any knots. Let butterflies be free in this area. They're going to climb up. You can climb up the back, like padding upwards. And they're just encouraging the shoulder blades to drop now. Encourage that relaxation. Up to the shoulders. Remember to breathe. Keep engaging with this. And they're just going to stack on your shoulders. Just a couple of them, and you're going to feel that presence there. It's like someone's slightly pressing down. Not invasive, it's just encouraging those shoulders to loosen and lower. Just sit with that for a little minute. Lovely feeling of everything just dropping. The wind carrying these petals is going to swirl around the arms. And your arms are going to feel free, light, soft. And finally, as they land in the palms, heavy. Gravity is taking this now, and the petal's just going to spread through the palm all the way to the fingertips, just encouraging you to relax. The next in-breath, they're going to swirl up. And they're going to fall at your temples. And they're just going to melt right in here. Through the temples. And you feel this warmth seeping all the way to the back of the skull, to the neck, and all the way around to the jaw, relaxing you to untense this, untense the jaw, the cheeks. Might have been holding all that smiling. And around to the eyebrows, just encouraging the eyebrows to loosen, to relax, and whatever that means for you. Remember to keep breathing. And just in this state of calm, I'd like to remind you that you have called upon this. If you're feeling relaxed, if you're feeling comfortable, just know that you have created this all yourself completely. I've just been here saying some words at you. So just knowing that you can call upon this whenever you need, and if ever you need a break, you can sit and you can manifest and call upon or summon this wind, these petals, and this sense of relaxation with you. And whenever you're ready, I would like you to open your eyes. I hope you're feeling a lot calmer now. And if you want to give like a little stretch and a little yawn, you're more than welcome to. But I mean it when I say that. Thank you for taking the time out for you today, and that you can call upon this whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. That was so lovely. You know, now I've done that, I feel like during the intro I was talking really fast. I've been so excited for this evening, and now you've done that, I'm like, yeah, that I whizzed through that. So I needed that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're so calm, and when you said to close your eyes, I had my eyes closed, but I did have a little sneak peek, and I love the way you hold your hands and your gestures. For me, that helped me even more. I felt even like this flow. I did. It was really
Oh,
nice.
lovely. It helps me as well because I'm like visualizing it as well.
Mm,
It helps me because I'm relaxing as I'm doing it too.
yeah.
So it's a lovely relationship as well, where I'm feeling super relaxed and you're feeling super relaxed. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I sense that as well. I feel more connected now. That's nice.
mhm.
How long have you been practicing meditation for?
Oh golly. Um, I think I've been practicing it for longer than I think I have,
Mm,
because when I think about meditation, or when I used to think about meditation, I used to think about sitting somewhere and being really quiet and like concentrating on my breath,
mm,
which is which is brilliant and lovely to do, but I struggle to do that sometimes. And actually, I engage with lots of different forms of what I might think is meditation,
mm,
like those moments where I'm vacant, or those moments where I'm just still. I would call that meditation, or the times
mm.
where I'm like the in-betweeny times. So
Yeah,
I think all of us have meditated for much longer than we think we
yeah.
have.
Yeah, I like that actually. And that's something you don't consider. Even like, for example, when I'm walking home from work, I don't put on music or
Mhm.
anything and I'm just walking and I think, but like that's actually quite meditative. So that's nice,
Yeah.
yeah. I this year I started every morning, I have like a morning journal and I'll just write three things that I'm grateful for, and then I'll just
Mhm.
chat a little bit, just how I'm feeling, if I had any dreams, or like I try to tell myself how the day is gonna go. And for me, it's really helped me, and I think changed the way I am on a day-to-day basis. Because I think now if I don't do it, I feel kind of all over the place. Like I don't
Mhm.
have this organization, like I haven't already ordered my thoughts. Do you feel the same with meditation? Like if you don't do it on a day, is there a difference? Do you feel a difference?
Mm. I'd say I feel much more connected, and I
Mm,
feel like I have more. When I say control, I mean I'm more present.
mm,
So I have control of like my body and
yeah,
mind.
yeah,
There's a time in my day where sometimes I think that my mind is somewhere and my body is also somewhere. And those times of meditation, it's just me kind of like bringing them
yeah.
together. So they're one, kind of like a 3D, I don't know, where it's like two different bits.
No, I get you. I get you. Because I think that's the same for me. Like when I do my journaling, I think it's just like put like you say, putting your mind and your body together, and then I don't have all of these thoughts in my head. They're down, they're on paper, and I don't have to think about them all day long. I can just come back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Hmm.
Um, well, I was going
Mm.
to ask you how you got into like meditating and if you had to learn or watch any videos and things, but I think you kind of answered it with what you said about how you just kind of picked it up yourself. Like that's really nice. That's a really like natural way of doing it. Um, I wondered, do you have
Hmm.
any advice for anyone that has never meditated before and wants to get into it a little bit? Like, what would your advice be?
I would say my advice is to be really kind to
Mm,
yourself, and to not set a goal, which sounds a bit um, counterproductive. But I think that if you're setting a goal and you're like, I'm going to meditate every day for 5 minutes, like we're all human, and I sometimes don't
mm,
meditate every day, in like a classical way of like meditation, sitting and like just
yeah.
breathing. Um, so I think being kind to yourself, and if you just manage to get 5 minutes in a week, that's
Mm,
still something, and to be proud of that, and to always be, thankful that you took that time for
yeah.
yourself. Kind to you, like it shouldn't turn into something that is coming from a operating from a place of guilt ever.
Yeah. Because I know when they say to clear your mind, and then sometimes thoughts come in and you can feel a bit like blame
Yeah,
yourself, but it's okay. They come. We're
yeah,
just human.
yeah, exactly. They come and
Yeah.
they go, like all the time. Um, and thoughts are beautiful and lovely, as well
Yeah.
as whatever they may be, but they just come and go. And I was told this when I was working at Glastonbury, and I was like really anxious, and this magical woman just approached me, and she was like, um your thoughts right now, I can tell that you're like really up in your head. And she said, I'd like you to manifest from your thoughts an apple. And I couldn't. And she was like, and that's it, because your thoughts are just
Wow.
there, like you can't really make something from your thoughts. So she was like, does that make you feel a bit better? It's not like a weight on you, because they have no weight, they
Yeah.
have no value use it to. And ever since then, I was like,
That is really
whoa,
nice.
my thoughts go.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those moments where you're like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. I was full on like that.
That is really nice. Yeah. I listened to a podcast the other day. I think it was a Fun Cotton Happy Place podcast. And they were talking about thoughts and how they're not real. They're not you. You are you, and these thoughts just come and go. And it said, I don't know if this
Yeah.
is completely accurate, but it said that when a feeling comes to you, for example, anger, it sits in your body for 40 seconds, and any longer than that is you holding on to it. So emotions come and they only sit in for you not even a minute, and then they go again, and any longer is you holding. And I thought that was really interesting. And obviously it's, it's not black and white. It's not as easy to say, okay, emotion, you're here now you've got to go. But I thought that was it was quite interesting how fast actually the frequencies do come and go.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was a good one. I think you would like that podcast as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it.
Yeah.
I've got my little journal here
Aww.
to write it down. And
Yeah, yeah.
I love the idea as well of writing things down. I've started writing whenever someone says something, or if I find something that really makes me happy, I'll write it down. And then I'll make sure to also tell someone that that thing that you
Aww.
said that day, I wrote it in my journal and it makes me really happy and
Aww.
spreads it even further. And
That's
it's
really
lovely.
nice. That is so lovely. Yeah. Well, Happy Place podcast. Write that one down. Thank you so much, Alice. It's been so nice to chat with you.
It's been
Um,
really nice. Thank you so much.
where can anyone that's listening and wants to hear more from you, where can we find you?
Oh golly, well I just do this because I like it. Um, but on you can find me anywhere under like Alice Brown's now, or I think I'm called Redbird. I usually just do mindful moments and I volunteer to do it, and I send out a little like Zoom or a Skype just to like join in for 10 minutes for you. But yeah, it's there if you want it.
That's really nice. Thank you, Alice. All of everyone's socials is going to be at the end as well. So if anyone wanted to even just chat to Alice, because she's very lovely, then you can at the end. Thank you, Alice. It was so nice to chat.
Thank you. Take
You
care.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so nice. I'm feeling so much calmer now. I think back, I was talking really fast. I was really looking forward to it. But now I'm still looking forward to it. I'm just feeling a lot calmer. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling. I know lots of people found Alice really, really calming, so that's really lovely. And we were really, really lucky to have her as well. If anyone wants a shout out, then let me know in the comments. Who doesn't love a shout out? I bloody love a shout out. So if you want me to say your name, put it in the comments now. Now's your time. And as well, what did you have for dinner? Just let me know. Anything. We want to hear about it. So up next, we have our favourite podcast sisters. Unclassical podcasts share their hilarious interpretations of classic novels and have some really interesting and important conversations along the way. They normally get everyone chatting as well, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring. Hi, Katie and Marsha.
Hello.
Hello. Today is massive because you're together. This is so lovely.
In the same room.
Gross.
It's a little thing. I'm not
Too
going to
3D.
Oh my
Disgusting.
god, that's so weird. You can touch each other. That's so weird.
I have no idea.
Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you for having us. It's
Yeah.
lovely to be back.
You are favourite podcasters. What's the topic today? What are you going to be talking about?
Wow.
Yeah, Katie, what are we going to be talking about?
So today is a bit of a roller coaster one, should we say? Basically, we thought it'd be fun to kind of look at all the books we've ever kind of looked at on Unclassical.
Yeah.
We realised there was an overarching theme.
A very, universal theme that all of them seem to subscribe to in classical literature. That was inescapable when we looked back. Katie, what was this theme?
The theme was incest. There we go. I knew it.
Amazing.
So, yeah, we had a bit of a look into, I tried to look at incest in literature, but Apparently, it's a bit of a weird thing to research.
Yeah,
I
if
can
you Google
imagine.
it, war, and it's like, no, just like more about maybe the psychology as to why humans are interested.
And then it comes
So you
back.
want more?
And then it comes back with like, no, that'll fuck you up if you do that. Don't do that. I don't want to do it.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Great topic for the first time we're together.
Well, I'm gonna hand it over to you guys. Go away with your journey. Off you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Marsha, we've been looking at the Theban plays, and in particular Oedipus, which I'm sure many of you know the kind of story of Oedipus, which kind of set us on this little journey.
Well, it sort of brought into context that, yeah, like Oedipus is just straight out incest. They're not pretending it's anything else.
Yeah.
It's all the other ones, but they're like, oh, come on, it's not incest. He was just forced of my brother. It's hot. We have a vibe because we're related.
It's just, there is so much, like, in particular, the ones that where it's like, it's Wuthering Heights. What's the other one where it's your race is your brother?
Oh, David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, Wuthering Heights. There's just this like overarching theme of like, so I read Wuthering Heights, and Cathy and Heathcliff are raised from infant as brother and sister, completely like, you know, they have the same dad, like even the same meals at dinner time and everything. They're brother and sister fully. And then when they grow up, they have this romantic relationship.
And the whole thing is like, we're almost like cut from the same cloth kind of vibe. We're so similar. We had to come together. Like, no, you didn't.
That was not what was being laid down.
You can like support each other in your life. You don't have to sleep with each other.
It's very messed up.
Did Cathy and Heathcliff sleep together? I can't remember.
It's never explicitly said in the book, but explicitly that they're in love with each other, even though brother and sister. That's explicit.
They want to be together, whether they can do it or not.
Yeah.
So I had a look into like incest in literature and where does it come from? And obviously, ancient Greece, they liked a bit of incest.
Liked a bit of that.
So I looked into it. And I started to tell you about this earlier. The word incest doesn't mean like familial relations. It just means not pure. And so within that, they put loads of different like sexual acts which they deemed not pure. For example, if a Vestal virgin lost her sacred virginity, she would be accused of incest, and punished accordingly.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously she just gets punished.
It's always the way, isn't it? It's like, it's always punish the woman because how dare she have sex? It's like, but what about the man? Oh, well, he was a helpless little man.
Also,
he couldn't help himself.
The guy was punished for this, but this guy, he snuck into a female religious ceremony disguised as a woman, so he got punished for incestum as well. And it's this whole thing of like, crossing over into like sacred femaleness, but then in the same breath they include incest. Like, look, it is not the fucking same.
Look, that is not the same thing.
Let's get one thing fucking straight. And then obviously, like within the Greek gods, they were having it off with each other all the time.
Like, isn't Zeus married to a sister?
Yeah, Zeus is married to his sister, and they were the children of Cronos and Rhea, who were the children of Uranus and Gaia, and there's Uranus. And
you can tell Marsha had her COVID jab today, and she's feeling a little woozy.
Get vaccinated, kids. But yeah, Uranus and Gaia, there's rumours that they were siblings as well. But there's this whole thing that the gods aren't meant to be sort of like revered. They're kind of like meant to show all these different like personality types and sort of be like, yeah, they're a bit fucked up. Just because they're gods, you don't have to do like what they do. That's
the thing of the Greek gods, isn't it? It's like, because like now the idea of God is meant to be like this revered ancestral holy being and everything. Not ancestral.
Or celestial.
Yeah. But yeah, like the Greek gods, they were massively flawed. Like, you know, Aphrodite was hugely vain. Like,
do you want to know what Aphrodite was? Do you want to know what Aphrodite was supposedly created from?
An egg, isn't it?
One myth says born from the foam created when Cronos threw the testicles of the castrated Uranus into the sea. They're not normal people.
I thought she came from an egg.
I mean, an egg of sorts.
Wow. I mean, that's quite a start to life, isn't it?
And then there was this argument later. They were like, in modern literature, there's this whole like demand for new storylines, things we don't know. So maybe that's why we're so obsessed with it. But they were like, in ancient Greece, they were actually the same old mythical stories being told over and over, and people quite often knew what the story was. They just went there to see about a new way of telling it. And so you're like, Well, then that's not even an excuse, is it? Because the tale of incest is literally old as time.
Tale as old as time.
Looking at the mall. And also they passed laws where it was okay specifically for uncles to marry their nieces. And this sort of, one, gross, and two, comes down to marriages not being just the pursuit of like love and romance, but like the securing like political allegiances and like land and shit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for an aunt to marry her nephew?
Oh yeah. Why would she do that? What's the nephew got to gain from that?
It's just those things like, yes, but my brother had a sexy daughter, and damn, I like that.
Literally, the fact it's literally like in law, like it's okay for uncles to marry nieces. Like, come on, guys. Like at least try not to appear creepy, for fuck's sake. And also, so it was illegal. It was kind of frowned upon, like mainstream incest in like marriages, but they were like, but people into it casually. But it was a bit frowned upon, and it could ruin your reputation if someone said you were having incest.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, is it?
It's not a good. It's not. I mean, it's not a great start to the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It says that sexual relations between parents and children were widely condemned, but nieces and uncles and nieces. I mean,
you still get. Is it still legal to marry a second cousin?
Oh, it's legal to marry your first cousin. Fine.
It's not.
Also, it wasn't like written into the law that you weren't allowed to like marry like people in your family, but Plato, he argued that it didn't have to be written in law because it's just common sense. He was like, a mother, a daughter and sister should feel protected from the lust of their son, brother or father by an unwritten law.
Yeah.
You just don't do it, lads.
This isn't like, well, show me in the law where it says that. Do I have to, like, did you not just know?
There has to be a law to stop you cracking on with your mum. Well, it would help.
I mean, to be fair, show me first.
Yeah, literally, he's like, hey man, I tried. So then we looked at all the different books we've looked at and wanted to call out the incest in them. So kick things off with Tess of the D'Urbervilles.
Kick things off, back in the day when we looked at Tess the D'Urbervilles, Tess has a...
So Tess goes to get a job with her first cousin. The first cousin's got another job in mind. Actually turns out that he's actually not her first cousin, so we're good for incest there until the end of the book with like her main husband person who we're meant to really like. Tess, unfortunately, there's a lot of victim blaming that goes on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and she gets executed. And with Tess's blessing, he cracks on with her younger sister as they see the flag going up showing she's been hung.
It is, and Tess pretty much encourages before she dies. She's pretty much like, look, mate, I know you wanted me, but I'm gonna die. Have you met my little sister?
The little sister's never met him. He literally must show up at the front door like, you're coming with me.
She's literally like 12 as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and you are.
like, my sister's dead.
What? Did you kill her? What do you want?
It's very messed up.
So, Pride and Prejudice, Lizzie, her mum tries to get her to marry her first cousin to secure the family like wealth.
And yeah, that's like the big thing, isn't it? Like, it's like if you don't marry him, you'll bring shame on our family, you'll bring dishonor on us. Like, for not partaking in incest.
Yeah.
Yes, Lizzie, how dare you?
How dare you? Please, for the family. Fuck the family.
Please, Lizzie, fuck the family.
What? I really don't want to, Mum. Bleak House, Miss Summers, her adoptive father proposes to her. And it's only because some doctor swoops in to marry her instead, but she doesn't marry him because she's just kind of like, oh, a man has asked for my hand in marriage. A little fucked up, he's my dad, but
at the end of the day, you know,
I have been chosen.
At the end of the day, as a woman, we have no rights to say no to a wedding proposal, and as we all know, that is all we want in life, regardless of who it comes from.
Exactly. Dorian Gray, you remember this better than me.
Yeah, so this is a slightly more niche one, just because it doesn't really make it into the film version. It's just in the book.
I wonder why.
But basically, so Dorian Gray has like a girlfriend, and like her introduction. She's an actress, she's in a play, she's very young, she's only like 16 or something. She's very sweet, very innocent, and she has an older, and the older brother was about to set sail to go off
to Australia.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's the way it's written. He's sort of like, I would never let any good man touch you. You are my sister. Kiss my cheek. Again, kiss it again. You're like, why are you so obsessed with that?
It's gross.
It's just disgusting. And it's not explicit, but it's just like, But why do you fancy your sister then?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and he was way too invested in her love life.
Oh yeah, he was like, because she came back being like, oh, I've met a man. He's like, I'll kill him. How dare you? How dare he? It's like, she's allowed to meet people. What's wrong with you?
David Copperfield. So he gets kind of taken in by this family for his education.
It's kind of like Wuthering Heights.
Gets brought up alongside this girl. He goes and marries someone fit, realizes she doesn't know how to clean a house or cook a meal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, this is a real humdinger for me. Thank fuck she dies, so then he can go marry his adoptive sister. So at least that one worked out.
Yeah, at least you know there's some silver linings here, guys.
Wuthering Heights, who said brought up as brother and sister. Little Women. Fucking hell, Joe and Laurie have this whole thing that Joe says, no thanks, Laurie, I'm not into it, and he fucks up with their little sister.
Like,
wrong.
Sloppy seconds. I mean, it does. I mean, but Amy, she does say so first. She's a bit like, I don't want to because you know you kind of had that thing with my sister.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
and then he just kind of relentlessly pursues her until 10 no's and a yes means a yes in ancient literature.
She like has a breakdown because her sister died, and he's like,
oh my god, yeah, she's vulnerable. She's so emotionally vulnerable, and he just slips in.
Yeah.
Little Women is not a cute story.
Very disturbing.
Rebecca, she fucked her cousin.
Yeah, Rebecca's messed up. Like the character Rebecca, who's dead, and the story's about her cousins hanging around. And I mean, it's kind of funny because he's there like, we weren't just cousins, we were lovers, and he's kind of using it to like give himself more authority. But obviously, when you come out with that in a court of law, the court of law is a bit like,
yeah, I don't like this guy.
Well, we're just going to leave that one there because you seem creepy, sir.
I'm going to start pulling out that thread. You're not going to solve her murder? No, man, because you made it weird.
Then he comes out there like, I think she was carrying my child. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Just leave it. And then we get on to Oedipus, which is what we're looking at now. And at least in Oedipus, there was this prophecy that he was going to grow up to marry his mum, kill his dad. His parents tried to have him killed. They failed. And in his defense, he got adopted by this other kingdom, and then he heard the prophecy, and he ran away from who he thought his mum and dad were. So do you know what? He was taking. He gave it a fair good old try, which is more than could be said for the rest of y'all.
I also will say in Oedipus's case, because like all the rest of them, most of them do it fully in knowledge of who these people are, and everyone's just like, it's fine,
a bonus.
But then like with Oedipus, he just gets absolutely rinsed
slaughtered,
literally slaughtered. Well, not he does live, but like
until he doesn't.
Yeah. But he's like vanished and everything. It's like huge shame. It's like, hey, at least in my defense, I didn't know. Like, in a way, he was innocent of the mental side of it.
Yeah. And do you know what? In a modern day court,
I don't think you should finish that.
But yeah, he didn't do it knowingly, which is more than could be bloody said of Wuthering Heights lots and the rest of them. And yeah, why is everyone so obsessed with incest? Literally every book. It's not a new storyline.
It's not, and it's the disturbing thing that when you look at it, you're like, why is this and everything? And look, we tried to look up why, and all Google will give us is more results as to, you want to pursue this? Fine. No, I just want to know why it's a thing.
The general consensus does kind of seem to be like, look, I'll stop making it when you stop buying it.
It's literally like, it's so like, I mean, this isn't from me, I don't watch Pornhub, but it is like one of the most popular videos.
I think it is the most popular category.
Like
yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, we are sick as a society, that is for sure. Like sexualizing teenage girls in their school uniforms. And apparently Pornhub, they love a bit of sister porn.
Like, is it just this idea of like forbidden fruit? Like,
it must be. Just the idea of being taboo and wrong, I think.
Yeah.
And I guess within, especially now with like COVID and that kind of thing, we've got a lot of rules that we have to adhere to.
Like, I'm going to break some of them.
Yeah, and then I'm going to break the biggest taboo. So we just wanted to shine a light on ancient or classical literature. But
also how it's still so prevalent today. It's like...
we've always loved a bit of incest.
The ancient Greeks were doing it, and they're still doing it over Pornhub today.
It's a thing of beauty, really. We're not that far from our ancestors.
Things like this, like this is not societally, but scientifically, I've heard it. I don't know how true it is. It's like, you're meant to be more attracted to people that you look more like, and it's like, but that is weird. Like, surely because you know the typical thing is like, oh, you're attracted to women with big hips because it's like birth producing hips, things like that. So surely
genetically you should be attracted to people
as different as possible.
Yeah, so you can have more genetic diversity.
It's like there is no genetic benefit to this.
No.
I don't get it.
I said culturally, it makes sense if you're attracted to people who have similar references to you, because it's just a quicker way to get to know people if you're like, okay, I know your stance.
But you know what, you need to meet more people.
You need to meet.
You're just meeting yourself.
Literally, you can go further afield than
there
that.
are more people with more references to the same TV that you watched.
And also, just to go back into it, like in ancient Japan, it was practice in Egypt, but it was practice to keep wealth in the family. You didn't want to marry it out and lose wealth to other families. But you know what? We've all got our own bank accounts now. It's okay.
It's just it's so strange, isn't it? Like, because it is so like practiced in like different places around. Like, like you were saying, like within like royalty, it was hugely practiced to keep it within the family. Like, it's just weird. Like,
isn't it also like residual? Like with all the shit, obviously it's like racism onto a whole other level. But all the shit they gave like Meghan Markle, like, would you want to marry another like white girl? Or would you like to like diversify a little bit and not just keep marrying people cut from the same cloth? Y'all incestuous as hell.
It's weird, guys. Diversify and make us better. Maybe we'll be able to fight things like, I don't know, massive disease pandemics better.
It's just an idea.
Just a thought.
So I feel we always ruin the tone on these things because everyone's very nice and relaxed, and then we're like, so incest.
We just love to bring these topics to light.
I just feel they have a place to be discussed, and we're happy to bring that to the table.
On that note, I think we should end our rant on incest.
Yes, but thank you all very much for
listening.
Thank
you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, don't do incest.
Ew. That whole like time I was just like, ew. Thank you for bringing that to the table. But you know, as soon as you began, I was thinking the royals. Like that's what sprung to my head. I was just like the royals, keeping the money in. Yeah.
It's so messy.
It's so gross.
Crazy.
I liked when Marsh just said, it's a thing of beauty, really. I'm like, oh.
That's good topics.
Well, one of my questions was going to be, because obviously you look at like super old novels, so I was going to ask if there's ever any social issues that you see in those books that are still like relevant today. But I guess incense, no incense, that's a lovely thing. Incest.
Interesting. It's like, and they're not necessarily using the exact same terminology, but in quite a lot of books, it's like so obvious, like men gaslighting women.
That's what I was going to say.
And we think of it as such like this one thing, like, oh, women think they're being gaslit by men, and it's like, no. Women have always been gaslit by men, and we knew hundreds of years ago that we were being gaslit. We might have used a slightly different word,
but the thing is,
not new.
It's presented as being bad back then. It's not like, and he had every right to make her think that her views were wrong. It's like, what an asshole! Don't trust him. Like, why do we still give him a free pass?
Why have we not learned?
Yeah, literally.
Why have they not learned?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
that's different.
But then also he wrote about incest,
and he did, and he was a fan.
Yeah, so it's just like
swing and a miss.
Whoa. Yeah, that is very interesting. I want just some brief questions, just for anyone that's interested in you both. How did you get into podcasting?
So it was Marsha's idea, really.
So I was listening to a lot of podcasts, and there are a lot of very, I'm going to sound really mean now, loud people on podcasts, which we are not. No, I'm joking.
When you started saying, I was like, Marsha, that's
literally us. But I just wanted to listen to more kind of like British like banter humor kind of thing, because I felt like there's a lot of like, it's really like taken off in America, and there's a lot of like very strong American humor with like sort of very shouty men on there as well. And I wanted more like female-led podcasts, and I wanted to have something like you're talking about, a general narrative. And now, interesting fact, you can't slander the dead. So if you talk about authors that are already dead, you can't get sued. So
I I mentioned it. I was like, oh, maybe we could do like
I can't remember what it was, but it's
The
some...
Shining. And Marshall's like, well, he's not dead yet, so
Give it a few.
okay.
So we wanted more women in the podcasting space, and we didn't want to get sued.
Very
So-
clever. Amazing.
We wanted to like expand our reading horizons.
Mm,
And, like,
yeah.
yeah, and now we've committed to it. It's like, oh, I've got so much to read.
Aw, well, we love you gals. Thank you so much for being here. Where can we find you if we want to hear more from you?
So we're on like all of the major podcast spaces like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you pod.
Just type in unclassical.
You'll see our lovely faces pop up. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we are on TikTok as well now because we like it down. On Facebook again, like Unclassical Podcast, and you'll find us.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. As always, all the socials will be at the end as well, so don't worry, everyone. You don't have to remember all the details. Cool. Thank you, gals.
Thank you.
Oh, I love them. They're hilarious. Up next. Well, first, let's give some shout outs. So I can see Lola. Lola's my baby sister. Hello, Lola. Hello, Chloe. I still want to know what people have had for dinner. No one's telling me. Why is everyone keeping their dinner a secret? Okay, let's move on to our next guest. I'm super, super happy to have her on the show. Her name is Fausta Jolie. She does many, many incredible things. She does poetry, she hosts events, she does workshops. And because she is a super busy superwoman, we couldn't get her on live, but she's very kindly sent in a video. So we're going to watch that. And she's going to tell us a bit more about herself, and she's going to read us some poetry as well. So everyone enjoy. This is Fausta Jolie.
Hi, Nkama. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Fausta Jolie. I'm based in London. I'm a poet and facilitator with my company, Jolie Licks. You can find us on Instagram at Jolie Licks or www.jolielicks.com. It's a real treat to be here tonight. I love Nkama as a night, and I can't wait to be with everyone in person. And big thanks to Chelsea and Tiago for having me. I thought I'd tell you more about myself through my words. And today is Miles Davis's birthday. I have a huge passion for jazz. I actually work in a jazz club 3 days a week, so jazz is very dear to me. And through a heart connection, I was able to see so many amazing people over the past 2 years. And this is a poem I wrote at a jazz festival watching Moses Boyd and his band, and it's called Exodus Calling. I'm dedicating it to the jazzers and you at home, and I hope you enjoy. Standing amongst the initiated, the ignited, the inconceivable now. Fresh blood blowing into trumpets, tubas and tenor saxes. New ego-free digits put upon these keys, strings and drumsticks. Fresh light and fresh delight in each other's talents. Pride of the generation that's come before. Childish humbleness bred in the 90s, schooled at the likes of Trinity and Berkeley. Some graduate without diplomas, for this is the Exodus. Music transpiring postcode, mindset and expectation. Music taking hold and speaking to your beat, your harmony, your standard. You gotta pay your dues, as Davis said. Rep to him as he came up over the brass glass fences. Tomorrow's warriors hustling on and off the stage. The jazz equivalent of the varsity football team holds a hand and a nod like your Wynton Marsalis. New York beckons, and as the cats of York curl up by their front windows, dreams are prancing on the streets under the glow of the Empire State after a gig. The Southeast blowing up, international and getting global, going viral. Hear their voices on the radio, under the needle, in your local. Please purchase a copy of the vinyl on your way to the Exodus. That was Exodus Calling. Happy birthday today, Miles Davis, 25th of May, and I hope you enjoyed. So, obviously the past year has been a bit of a ride, that's putting it lightly, but I was amazed and so grateful that fellow artists and colleagues and friends got in touch to collaborate on a few projects. And it was really amazing because a lot of times we are kind of hermits and we're sort of scribbling in our notebooks, and we do gift it to the world, and we're ingratiated by audiences, and we get to share each other's work with each other. So it's not all solo work, but it's quite nice to be feeding off someone else's creativity, and it's a real honoured position to be in when someone says, look, I have this dance project and I'd want some of your words. And so the latest collaboration I did was one of my dearest friends, the artist Ari Wisner, who also did this painting and like lots of paintings in my room. And they're a mystic, graphic designer, poet as well, and they have designed this incredible tarot deck, which I'm super excited by. I'm holding it for like the second time in my hands, and Ari asked me to do the poem. So this is a massive, massive exclusive for Enkama. I'm just gonna, that's the little guidebook with my poems. So you have, I don't know if you can see, you have the card and then the poem and the description, and it's a really beautiful piece of art. So I've written poems for the major arcana, and I thought, yeah, just little sneak preview. But you should go and follow us at Transient Light Deck on Instagram. And so basically I'm going to read 3 poems. They're pretty short, but I'm going to read 3 of my latest Transient Light Deck poems. And what's unbelievably exciting for me is this is I'm counting it as like my first collection in print. And we're actually going to skip along to the very end of the major arcana for the last 3, because it's sort of the moment where I've kind of gone through a huge spiritual journey, and it's sort of like tying up the loose ends and basking in the achievement. So, the first poem is for the sun. You've climbed the tallest mountain. Beads of sweat suddenly evaporate as you reach the peak and bask in the sunlight. In this moment of soulified majesty, the magical orchestra of the forest below delights and sings out. The natural grid of green, vitality, and the wild free courses through you. Glance back down with purified happiness at all that you've created. And that was the sun poem. And next, you go to the 20th card in the major arcana, Judgment, which is all about forgiveness, responsibility, and rebirth. Take heed of what you believe. There is a road to success that paved with kind, selfless offerings. A time to herald in a flock of new practices if you feel you've danced with hypocrisy. Self-love healing. When we talk to the accountant in charge of our higher selves, try not to shortchange them. And then lastly, for the 21st and last card in the entire deck of a regular tarot deck, we have the World, which is all about closure, wholeness, and a new chapter. And by God, I feel like we're all going to want a new chapter, or are commencing it as we all come out of this strange, scary time. This calls for a celebration, for the cycle is complete. You've booked the ticket. Now you're well on your way. So revel in this red carpet moment. Cast a spell and turn it into a magic one. Take flight, in line with the start of the new moon. The watchful eye of the multiverse, your ancestors, your choices, are kindly blinking. Open and close, open and close. A tender, soft acknowledgement that you are worthy and deserving. So that was from the Transient Light Deck. Woo! You need to go get your copy. Pre-order it from Etsy now. So lastly, one of the things that Jodie Licks is all about is helping people understand that creativity is a guarantee of sanity. And obviously sanity is completely relative, but poetry is one of those gateway drugs to finding your artistic self. And this is what I preach and I teach in my workshops. And the last workshop we did was with a beautiful literary journal called Loud Coffee Press. Shout out to them. And Annie, one of the editors, wrote this article, and she was describing poetry as being a soul salve. So a little remedy for your soul. And I think most people here would agree with that. And so we did some exercises based on this notion of soul salve. And again, there's like an orchestra and it's musical. So I guess there's a little running theme through my poetry today. And it's handwritten in my notebook. That's another thing I encourage in our workshops, is to make sure that you have a pen and paper, but you can write however way you want. You can even record, completely up to you. But there's something about getting in the flow of having the page. So my last poem for you guys this evening is based off of this workshop. It's probably my freshest poem. Haven't really gone back and edited it, and it's called Soul Salve. The crescent moon shines down, slither of new becoming. The overture has ushered in a new symphony, string section playing breakthrough, horns blowing out any doubt, percussion revving the engine. There's a collective din of joyful reunion, chest riding up and down as you try to calm the march of the doubt brigade. You know by now the best way to do so, so be sure not to ignore what it is your soul is calling for. And that's dedicated to everyone. We got your little soul salve, self-healing, self-love remedy. And I've been Fausta Jolie, and lots of love. Thank you so much.
Isn't she lovely? Thank you, Fausta. All of her socials will be on the end credits, so everyone can check her out. As she's not here, it would be really lovely if anyone could go and send her some love and let her know that we really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. That was Fausta Jolie. I hope everyone is having a really lovely time. I'm having a super time. This has really cheered up my Tuesday afternoon. I've had someone finally tell me their dinner. Kate has had potato waffles, salad, olives, peas, veggie sausage rolls, and loads of mayo. It's not what I was expected, but lovely. Thank you so much. I won't judge. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Sam. Okay, I think it's time for some music. I'm really excited for our next guest. We have beautiful Nush. She is a dancer, DJ, musician, and producer. Hello, Nush.
So, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really, really excited to listen to you and to chat to you as well. Could you tell us a bit more about just like who you are and what you do?
So I'm a almost 25, with a month and a bit left, year old creative who writes, records, produces, dances, just a few things, just a few things. Yeah, and just arts and art forms in general that I'm interested in, including spoken word and things like that as well.
That's nice.
And I'm based in Northwest London, but I'm originally from Sri Lanka.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard when people ask like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I do this and this and this, and then like I'm like not sure which title I am. I'm just a human, that's all.
Yeah. So like I read somewhere that the best thing that you could call yourself is a creative, because I mean if you have so many different like facets that you go through, then that's what you are. You're a creative.
Maybe I should start saying that as well. I like that as well. It sounds very
It's
nice.
good. You're so like unbound by what you could like potentially call yourself.
Yeah,
It's nice.
that is nice. And sometimes I just don't like titles at all, to be honest. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
What are you going to be playing for us today?
So I have the first thing is a medley, which is like it's got my mother tongue in it, but to be honest, most Tamil songs are just literally about love. So there's no translation really needed. It's just like this guy was betrayed and he's like are you gonna tell me a lie? Basically, betrayal, standard. And I mix that with an English song, and then the rest are just just originals, and I'll just introduce each one because they will have like different stories and stuff.
Amazing. Okay. I want to chat with you more, but maybe we can do that afterwards because I'm so excited to listen to you.
I'm game. I'm game.
Okay, cool. I'll hand it over to you then.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, like I was saying, the first thing I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to introduce you to my mother tongue, and it's I hope you guys can hear that nicely. Here we go. All right. இதயம் ஒரு கண்ணாடி உனது பிம்பம் விழுந்ததடி இதுதான் உன் சொந்தம் இதயம் சொன்னதடி கண்ணாடி பிம்பம் கட்ட கயிறொன்றும் இல்லையடி கண்ணாடி ஊஞ்சல் பிம்பம் ஆடுதடி நீ ஒன்று சொல்லடி பெண்ணு அது நின்று கொல்லடி கண்ணு எந்த வாழ்க்கைய உன்னை விரும்பும் எனத்தொரு தாய உயிர் கரையேறாது I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking back when you were mine, and now I'm all up on you. What you expect? But you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you, over you. What are you doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yıla sola oradana moda Yine sola bogirai. Thank you. So that was the first one. And next off, I'm going to introduce you to some songs from an album that I still have not finished, and it's still in production. I'm trying to like recreate the tracks since I like got into production maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So the plan is to do that, and each song is like basically about the days that I spent in Tenerife. So I went to Tenerife 2 years ago, and each day just had different vibes. Like the songs are not really respective of Tenerife itself, but it's still like, again, like the sounds that I heard. So the first one is like a standard just love song, and it's just super cozy, super fun. You've been on your first date very long time ago, and like you're just living your best life in your relationship, and it's just a bit of fun. And I'll be remixing it with another one of the songs as well, so I hope you like it. So glad we went and got coffee, having breakfast and tea while I'm feeding body. No high could ever top this. I love the way you play with my hair, so much oxytocin running through my body, and I know that you could be my superhero, and you know that I could be your superhero. I really hate this Wishing you were in my town. Too many drives on the motorway. Had me 2 years to finally make this journey. No sea of regrets. I needed time to grow. Is it bad that I have no doubts? And I know that you could be my superhero. And you know that I could be your superhero. It's kind of cheesy, but when I'm squeezing you, cuddling, kissing you, having you, it makes me feel like I'm just loving you, yeah. It's hard for me to really admit, 'cause falling so deep is just what I do. Is it bad that I have no doubts? Superhuman is the kind of word that I don't want to use, 'cause I don't need to be saved, but it's just your taste that I crave. The pain of the past melts away. You are superhuman. Whoa, yeah. If you're talking the softest, Nush better pop up in your thoughts or some hush. Talking the party, everybody wanna know when Tenerife's gonna drop. Walking the party, sporting guitar stuff. Half of the crowd's trying to call my bluff. Sorted the mic words blowing like tsunamis. Boys looking at me like, talk to me, darling, jeez. Hollering at man and winking, smiling. I wanna attack, man. I think these lovelies loving my rap game. Now I'm about to hit you with another of my songs like, it's the end of summer and I ain't got someone under my covers, so I pull you aside. Wine and cut you 'cause we're feeling the vibe. A few months later, I'm with you. I know it's kinda late, but I'm trying to roll through. And I know you're in a slumber, 'cause I can't get through to your number. It's 2 in the morning, I'm coming over, scared of what this is, so I call you. Not responding while I'm waiting on your avenue. It's 2 in the morning and I'm calling you. 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Whoa, I said it's 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Whoa, I've been fussing, I've been fighting, but it's you that I'm really liking, yeah. 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Whoa, 'cause I know that you could be my superhero. And you know that I could be your superhero. Superhero. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that was day 2 and day 3. And now I'm gonna hit you with day 4. So a dream of mine in life is to just live in a cabin, be away from everything, and like honestly, like being somewhere where you're just surrounded by nature and no cars, and just living in London and just not enjoying that vibe has always been something that I've felt. And yeah, so I just wrote a song about it, and there's like a little bit of like spoken word rap stuff in there too, and I ended up, like I said, trying to reproduce my album from scratch, and this is the track that we got left with, and I hope you guys like it. Let's see if it works. There you go. Ripples caused by rainwater, Humidity, heightened innocence, the smell is in this well. Warm, the sun rays complementing pitter patters of raindrops, cars racing by. Everybody has a purpose, a place to be, a thing to do. But I am a lost soul without a cause. I just want the cabin life, surrounded by a lake and trees. I just want the cabin life, free to do as I please. I just want the cabin life, the hustle and bustle of life askew. I just want the cabin life, I just want the cabin life. Some want a big house and big cars and big rings. I just want a love and sentimental things. Wristbands for music and clubbing events, candles and car scents, videos and pictures from emotive moments, but bouncing away, flash of the camera, meant to be captured, wonderful chapter. Blurs are dancing, blurs are drinking, shots, but not shooting my shot. Disconnect from the crowd, I just want to be left alone. No one can reach me on my phone. I just want the cabin life, free to do as I please. I just want the cabin life, free to do as I please. I just want the cabin life, the hustle and bustle of life askew. I just want the cabin life, I just want the cabin life. I always have these thoughts dragging me down. I always have these thoughts making me drown. It comes from within, it's hard to fight off. So many different pieces of my mind, it's hard to find peace of mind. Thank you. So that was day 4. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there are like sounds of the tube, because I was like, I hate London, so let's just throw in the underground as well. Pretty much. So yeah, that was day 4. And yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone can relate, especially during like isolation and whatnot, about, you know, not really wanting to see people, but kind of wanting to see people, enjoying life, and not really like letting tech take over, or like things that aren't important take over. And on that same note, the next song that I'm going to introduce to you guys is called Nanoflex, which is about being a grandma and not wanting to see anyone again. So it's like a running theme, I guess. But yeah, no, it's just a song about being a grandma in isolation, enjoying not having to keep up with people pretty much. And it's just for all the people who are secretly like 80 within their like teen/20/30-year-old body, pretty much. And this is another track that I produced from scratch, so I hope you guys like it. I got them 9 to 5, sip a cup of life, no time for drama, that's good karma. 9 to 5s, I got them 9 to 5s, I got them 9 to 5, sip a cup of life, no time for drama, that's good karma. 9 to 5s, hey, 9 to 5s, yeah. I just hit snooze on my second nap of the day. It's just hitting noon and I've barely started. I take out the garbage and do all the chores. A life well lived is its own reward. Snuggle with a cuppa, my chill lockdown. Been over a year since I gone out under town. I don't check my socials and turn the TV on. I've watched all the good shows and binged anime. So I flip through the channels till I land on the news. Stay in your homes and maintain the distance. I'm with it in an instance. We gotta stay safe. They call me the wise old owl because I keep hooting facts. You need to relax. I said I'm hooting facts. You need to relax. I said I'm hooting facts. I got them 9 to 5, sip a cup of life. No time for drama, that's good karma. 9 to 5s. I got them 9 to 5s. I got them 9 to 5, sip a cup of life. No time for drama, that's good karma. 9 to 5s. I got them nana vibes. Ay, grindiness on the mic, spitting denture benches, gown sitting tight, tea hitting right. They say that I'm hip, but that's an understatement. Been on it for years and I'm due a replacement. Nana vibes is a mood, Nana vibes is a flex. Oldest in the friends group, creating soft headspace. You come for the vibes and stay for the noms. Don't worry about it, sweetheart, I got you. You need to relax. I said I'm moving fast. I said I'm moving fast. I got them nana vibes, sip a cup of life. No time for drama, that's good, come on, nana vibes. I got them nana vibes. I got them nana vibes, sip a cup of life. No time for drama, that's good, come on, nana vibes. I got them nana vibes. I got just what you need. You need to relax. I said I'm moving fast. Hey, yeah. I got them nana vibes. I got them nana vibes. I got them nana vibes. Nana vibes. Yeah. Yeah, that's nana vibes. It's just a vibe. Just sitting at home, not doing anything, just watching TV, isolated. It's a good time. It's a good time. Stupid song. Such a stupid song. It's so like, it's literally just being old when you're not really old. So yeah. But that one is on all platforms. So if you want to hear that one, you literally just search Nush and it should come up. And then yeah, previous songs plus that one are up. And yeah, it's been good. I mean, like literally last Saturday, I performed it for the first time like live, and it was amazing. And I just can't wait for things to be open again. And on that same vein, I have like a unreleased song that I want to share with you guys. So it's dropping hopefully on the 11th of June, and I wanted to bring in my Tamil, my mother tongue more. So I tried to incorporate that in my lyrics, and yeah, again, it's just a love song, to be honest with you. Like it's just a girl that's been running, she trips, she falls, she's like, oh my god, I like this guy, this is great. So it's kind of like the first stages of a relationship where you're kind of overthinking, but you're not really, and all of those emotions basically. And yeah, it's another song that I produced and still being produced. Like I literally started producing it last week. So yeah, this is a Nana Nush exclusive. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. There you go. I know that you're right here. I know that it's quite clear. It's going in the right direction. I do overthink a little too much reflection. When I think too deeply, I lose myself, I lose why we're in this. Trying to make a problem before it exists, but I'm not your kiss. You remind me why we do this and why it works. You put a spell on me. I was on the brink of a meltdown. You put a spell on me. You're so sweet like cherry pie. You got the kind of look that I cannot deny. Goofy smiles, cause you are my guy. You are the plug in my little bud. You're so sweet like cherry pie. You got the kind of look that I cannot deny. Goofy smiles, cause you are my guy. You are the plug, my little bud. You're so sweet like cherry pie. ஓடி வந்த நான் மயங்கி போனேன்டா. உண்டு உலகத்துல நான் இருப்பேன் வேற நீ தாண்டா. உன்னை வச்சுக்கிட்டேன் உன்னை விட மாட்டேன். கொஞ்சம் லூசு போச்சு இந்த காதுக்காக. But I don't mind cause you're a sweet as cherry pie. Cannot deny groovy as smiles cause you are my guy. You are the plug of my little thug. You're so sweet like cherry pie. You got the kind of lip that I cannot deny. Groovy as smiles cause you are mine. You're so sweet, cherry pie. Hey, yeah. That's the song so far. Still has to be somewhat written, but hopefully it should be out on the 11th of June on Nish. So yeah, that's all my songs. I'm done for now. If you want to find me anywhere, I'm Music by Nish. Everywhere, literally everywhere.
Ooh. Nush, you're so cool. I feel like it's not cool to tell people they're cool. So that's my coolness gone, but you're cool.
I'm not cool. I'm so far from cool. Just maybe like exterior cool, but like interior nerd.
I so relate though to everything you're saying, like especially like cabin life. Like for me, like I don't know, like I don't like titles, but if I had to, I would class myself as like an introvert, I guess. I've never been good at like social situations and things, and for most of my life that's something like that I think like I feel like embarrassed of, or like you try really hard to be confident and want to go out loads, but like I think during lockdown it came like a time where it was just more like, this is me, I accept it. And but I think it was the silence and the space to be able to accept it, because no one was going out, there wasn't pressure from anyone. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I know what you mean. Like I don't know what I am, because sometimes I'm like super extroverted and I'm like, yeah, life the party, let's go out, let's do things. And then we're like, yeah, let's do some gigs, let's like have a really good time. And then other times I'm just like, I don't have a social battery right now, so I just kind of want to be here and present and just like binge watch Breaking Bad, and that's like what I want to do today. Like, so yeah, it's very, I don't know about you, but I feel like during lockdown we've had to kind of look inwardly as well. And there's no vices, there's no going out, there's no like going to concerts and doing external things with people, because you know, you're literally stuck in the house. So it's kind of been like a progression of that journey as well.
And like, I don't know about you, but like in normal day-to-day life, you get invited to a lot of things, and I'm good at saying no. I don't always just do it because I feel the pressure, but even just saying no, it's like, oh, I have to try and make an excuse, or I just have to try and explain to them like I'm not really feeling this. So like during the time of lockdown, I wasn't invited to anything. I didn't have to make...
Yeah, because you're like, that's illegal.
So I didn't have to make any excuses for anyone. And that was so nice. And now like it's picking up again. And like for me, I'm not ready to go out again yet. Like that's just me. And I'm okay with saying that. So I have to... But now I'm not really making excuses. I'm just kind of telling people, thank you so much, but you know, I'm staying in tonight, or I'm just doing this tonight. And I think that is a positive thing that came from the lockdown. Yeah,
I think so. And also this whole can't actually touch you because that's illegal. So I have to keep our distance.
Sorry mate, back off the hug there. Yeah, I agree. And it's nice to know that there's more people like us as well, because I think a lot of people have come out of the woodwork with their introvertedness. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I tapped more into that side, because before lockdown I was just everywhere doing everything. Like I used to go to university in Nottingham, so I have a bunch of friends that are still doing music there. So then I'll just be like, okay, I'm coming for a rehearsal every week, and then we just go out, and then we'll go out as well. But then no, I feel like I've really tapped into this side of me that's like, you know what? It's calm, it's peaceful. I mean, it's been horrible mental health wise, not people that you care about, but that aside, it's like calm.
Yeah, it's good and bad, I suppose. Yeah.
Definitely.
I wanted to ask you, like, for me when I write poetry, it's quite therapeutic, and I can make sense of a lot of my feelings and emotions. And with your, like, I love listening to your words in your songs as well. And I wondered if that's the same for you.
100%. Like mine is actually getting help, which is always useful if you want to do that. But writing is like so much of how hard. Like I wrote when my dog died, or like during relationships, or after relationships end, or like just verbalizing how I'm feeling. It's just super like super cathartic to do that.
Yeah.
And I write some poetry as well. Like I write a bit of spoken words. So like I also like completely feel you.
Yeah.
Like it whatever it's on, whatever the topic is, after you finish, you're just like,
yeah, definitely.
I feel high.
Yeah. it's like you know when it rains really heavy, and then it's like so clear afterwards, and you feel washed. That's how it feels for me
Yeah,
as well when like I write as
yeah,
well. Yeah,
definitely,
it's so
definitely with
nice.
you on that one.
Yeah, and I like your relation to nature as well. I agree with that. I would like just to be in a
Mm,
cabin and just be surrounded by trees and nothing
yeah, no.
else.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of living in London. I never have been. I've always like enjoyed being away from it. Like in Nottingham, it was more green, and my
Yeah.
campus was so in the middle of nowhere. It was awesome. Like being surrounded by that is just so
Yeah.
amazing.
But
And I
did
think,
you say that you're in London now?
yeah, I'm in Northwest right now. Yeah,
Do you have ways of like coping or dealing with being in a city when you're not really like a city kind of gal?
I'm not a city folk, no. But no, actually, something I kind of started doing, maybe even during lockdown, is I had this tendency of not leaving the house as well, for just because, there's no need to, if there isn't a necessity. So what I started doing is I'd like take a map, like on my phone, not like an actual map, because no one does that now. But I would basically pick like a random area that looked woody and green, and then I'd click it, and then just take a drive there,
Oh.
and then at that point I would turn off all my navigation and then just kind of follow the signs back home. And that was like a really cool way of just kind of switching off, but then
Yeah.
also getting a sense of direction, because I feel like I need that by now, because I just don't have one. Well, I kind of do have one now after that, but yeah,
That's
no,
really
that's
nice.
been fun.
I like
Yeah.
that. You know, you just made me think when I was younger and I used to have driving lessons, I was so bad with direction, and my
Mm.
instructor drove me out to the middle of nowhere, and then she said, "Okay, now find your way home." And I was like, "What, without
No
a sat
pressure.
nav?" But
No pressure.
yeah, but it was nice actually, like the feeling of just being
Mm.
lost and just making your way wherever you end up.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Because I would do it at night as well, because night drives are just
Oh yeah.
everything. That's one thing I'd say, maybe like even though living in a city, like I'm kind of like more suburban. So at night it's just empty. So you're just there like, this is
Yeah,
nice.
that is
This
really
is calm.
nice.
I actually ended up writing when I was 2 or 3 years ago, when I started properly writing. I did write a song about like driving at night, and it's just you go through all these different like thought processes, and you kind of can be mindful, like because I just put on like chill trap or like lo-fi, and then just think as well, and
Yeah.
that's been cathartic as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, that's really nice.
Mm.
Um, Thank you so much for being here. It's been so lovely to
Ah,
listen to you. You're so chill. I feel like you're almost the definition of N karma. It's so lovely.
wow, I like that. Thank you for having me on
Oh, it's our
this
pleasure.
platform. Like, and like shout out to every single person that's come on before me and is going to be during the actual like the next few days as
Yeah,
well.
thank you very much. Well, it was lovely to chat to you. Thank you, Nish.
You as well. Thank you for having me.
So all of Nish's socials will be at the end as well, along with everyone else's. Make sure you check her out on all the social platforms as well. So that's it for our guests. It's been super, super lovely. Now, if it's okay with everyone, I'm going to take over the screen a little bit and perform a couple of poems of my own. It's too hard to resist. So I'm just going to perform two. I'm very lucky. I'm so lucky to get to host and perform. Thank you, Enkaba. This first one is one of the many poems I've written about grief and the way it can shape us and change us and grow with us as well. So this one is called I Hug Harder Now. I hug harder now, longer as well, harder and longer. I didn't before, but through the despair and distraught I was taught to pause, to close my eyes, breathe in tight and hug just right. Not for too long though, because my eyelids can get comfortable and all too soon it becomes the night. I only close my eyes when you're just too near sight, when my vision gets blurry because you're close and whispering, it's going to be alright. I hug tight too. I say I love you too much now. Before it was like pushing open a cobweb door, not painful, but not desired, but not anymore. Now it comes dancing from my lips like an old video clip of yourself at your happiest. There's no point in holding on to it. They say I love you is only beautiful when they hear it. I think I could say I live in the moment now. Is that what death is supposed to teach you? To seize every day and know it's okay because they would have wanted you to live this way, or maybe that way. I overthink now, more than I did before, which is an achievement actually, because I'm a Virgo and I didn't think I could. I think about what it means to be alive, to live without you by our side, what this existence means anyway, and if even not my place, the human race, which some days shows more disgrace than grace. But then there are those mornings. You're next to me, sleepy and yawning, the sun's delicate rays shining into the living room blooming, our little green garden. I appreciate the little things now. My flickering fairy lights carrying warmth into the night. Books that live on beyond the last page. My morning journal taking me to new depths of understanding. Laughing with my love for days. Little gestures my memory will never erase. And actually, I think that's what it teaches you. Death. Like a blessed excuse to hold and love every moment, big or small, significant or not at all. I hug harder now, longer as well. Thank you for allowing me to do that. I'm going to read one more and then we'll come to the end of the show. This one is, have you ever felt like you can see through someone and no one else can see it and it's really annoying and you just want to like tell them, but you don't want to come across as negative or a bit of a negative Nelly, I suppose. And it's a hard situation, but maybe it's hard to explain. Maybe my words will say better than I can. It's painful when it's lonely, seeing clearly. Like a heavy cloud I unload, until it floods my eyes and wrecks cities too. No one wants rain. They won't accept it anyway. They'll say it's me. I see ugly where only beauty stays, and you should keep away from such strays. I could blindfold my face, but I fear my mind's eye will still see. I guess it's an ability that stuck with me, and I wonder, does telling your truths make my tongue dirty? A little shorter one. Thank you everyone for allowing me to do that. I love hosting and I love performing here as well. So that's it. We've come to an end of the show. Thank you so much to everyone that's been watching. Shout out to Tiago, shout out to Lola, Nush, Chloe, everyone that's been watching, thank you so much. I've had a really, really lovely time and I hope you have as well. There's been a really strong female energy here tonight. I've only just realised and it's so lovely. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you to our lovely guests. Everyone, please show them love. Give them a follow. All their socials will come in the credits just after this. So give them some love because they've put a lot of hard work in and they're all so, so lovely. And we want to always support our artists. Thank you and Karma for this wonderful festival. So this is night 2. So there's still 2 more to go. So make sure you tune in. You can go to their page and it will be in their bio. So you can go tomorrow and the next day. Your week is sorted. Don't worry about it. Thank us later. Thank you to my tech man, Theo. Thank you. I love you. Shout out Tiago, who was one of the founders of Karma. He puts loads of hard work into these festivals and we love and appreciate him. So shout out Tiago. And that's it. I'm really, really, really grateful for everyone that tuned in. I hope this brightened up your Tuesday and I hope you have a lovely week ahead and we're sending you lots and lots of love. See you next time.